How y'all doing? Wonderful. Is it okay for you up front if I stand, or does it make you feel like you're in an uncomfortable position?
Perfect.
It's okay? Great. I wanted to be able to stand because I want to be able to see everyone, and I really enjoy the collaborative experience of a talk, even if you're not speaking. I'm trying to receive what's coming through you and feel your participation in this conversation. So this feels better to me to be able to see you, so thank you. It's hard, I appreciate the generosity of that opening, and it's hard for me to be introduced as a superhero. The one thing I love, this word extraordinary. When people say, well, you've done an extraordinary act, I love the word because all it means is extraordinary. And I love that extraordinary acts actually are an invitation for us to embrace all of our ordinariness and then not let that stop us. And that's all extraordinary is. And so I'm clear that extraordinary is possible for every single one of us. And my hope in sharing this evening and in sharing this weekend is to actually just be a mirror for you. I speak a lot from the space of my story, my experience, but my prayer, my hope, my intention is that you don't hear this as me talking about me, but rather that this is an opportunity for each and every one of us to just hear this story and whatever comes through me, because I don't actually write speeches, and that whatever comes through me will hopefully reflect something to you that makes a difference in your life. I tell people that if you like what I share, great, because all it means is that I've done a really good job of being a mirror, of reflecting you back to yourself. Because we can't actually hear in someone else what we don't already have some piece within ourselves. We wouldn't be able to recognize what someone else says if we didn't have some aspect of that within ourselves. So if I say something tonight that really moves you, touches you, inspires you, then great, I did a really good job of being a mirror, of reflecting you to you. I'm really grateful to have that opportunity. And if I share something that doesn't resonate with you, it's okay, go ahead and compost it, because then it can still serve you. I'm not attached to whether you like it or not. My desire, my intention in being here tonight is just to serve each and every one of us such that when we leave this room and when we leave this conference, we are more alive, more inspired, more lit up in being in service to ourselves, our family, our community, and the world. Because my commitment is that every single time we gather together, the world changes. And my commitment is that we change it for the better. Through our coming together, through our sharing of our stories, through the sharing of our yoga practice, through the sharing of our collective experience, that just by being here, the world has changed. But then my commitment is that we then take that in service outside of this room, outside of this conference. And to begin with, I'd like to acknowledge the fact that I'm really present to, we're staying in a place that's called Indian Lakes. And I went, well, who are the original Indians? Who are the original peoples? And the name Illinois actually comes from what I believe is pronounced the Illiniwek, a confederacy of what they know of to be 6 different tribes that lived in Illinois, who called this place their home. And so I recognize that most, if not all of us, are visitors here on their land. And I'm grateful to these people for having lived in a way that honored the land, that made sure that the land would still be here all these generations later. And so we actually are living into the gift of these original peoples who cared for this place. And so I honored them as I'm their guest here. And I also wanted to really bring into our space of when we're talking about community, extending all the way back to our understanding of the original peoples here, but also to extend our idea of community to the people who are working in this place. I'm just really present to how profoundly grateful I am to the people who are maintaining the grounds, who are cleaning the rooms, who are cleaning up these rooms that we're working in every day, and filling up the water, and all these things that we kind of don't notice oftentimes, not because we're bad or wrong, but just because we've been conditioned not to notice. And so I want to invite us as well that for the rest of the weekend here, we really be mindful of really looking at the people who are working in this place, telling them thank you, and really acknowledging them every way we know how for the profound gift that they offer us. Our privilege to come here this weekend and gather largely has to do with the unseen ones. And I want to invite us to see them. And also invite us to see and thank the team that makes the Midwest Yoga Conference happen. That I'm most famous for having lived in a tree for 2 years and 8 days, but I had a phenomenal team who I wouldn't be known. I would very likely be dead if it hadn't been for them as well. So I'm never a breath away from presence of gratitude to team. So my gratitude to the whole team, Johnny and everyone else at the Midwest Yoga Conference. I want to invite all of you, if you see someone who's part of the team, to tell them thank you as many times as you can, because what a gift that we all can gather here today. With that, I would like to open with a poem, because it's really just about, pardon me, I need a drink of water. It's really about this idea of that there is no sharing of what we don't already know. So conferences like this are just an opportunity for us to come and remember what we've forgotten. Because my experience has taught me that everything we need to know is already within us. It's a part of everything that ever has been, everything that is, and everything that we're living into. We are part of a continuum. And so knowledge is not just belonging to one specific person, but rather it's always there for all of us. But what has happened over time is we've built up blocks to that knowing. And that's part of the gift of yoga, that it helps us uncover those blocks. And with love and commitment and courage, move through those blocks to open up to our inner awareness that's always been there. And it's one of the gifts that yoga offers us. So this poem kind of reflects that, and I'd like to share it just so that it creates that container for whatever else happens to come through my mouth for the next few minutes that we're together. So this poem is called Divine Mirrors. I do not know anything that you do not already know. If anything, I might be a tilling the fertile soil of your soul. A mirror cleared of the hazy cloud of the myths and stories of our time, the ones that do not serve our highest selves. I do not care what you look like on the outside, because I see who you are on the inside. That which lives long, long after your skin decays off your bones and your bones turn to dust. I see you as a legacy, as a story whose chapters are crafted by the artistry of time, dancing with who you are, moment to moment to moment. I see who you are, a profound opportunity, a gorgeous gift, a manifestation of the divine. I know who you are, and I do not know anything that you do not already know. Thanks.